What's up, everyone? Mr. NoobTube Gamer, giving you guys another Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War gameplay commentary. Today we're playing Team Deathmatch on Diesel, and this gameplay was wild. I think I go like 30-3. I get a gunship from a care package. It was really fun. Something I don't have very often in this game. I really love the setup I got going with the M16. I forget the name of the scope that I'm using, but it's one of the last ones you unlock with the M16, and I love how you can zoom in and out. It's so useful, it's so versatile, because you can zoom out and kill them at close range, and then, you know, when you have snipers, you can zoom all the way in and fuck them up. I love it so much, and I highly recommend you give it a try if you haven't already. This is a very underrated scope. I don't see anybody else using it. But yeah, like, as this game was going on, I was beating myself up. Why the fuck did I not record this gameplay? Because I know as a YouTuber, it's kind of like something you should be conditioned to record every gameplay that you do. But I didn't think much of it. I'm like, Cold War, with the skill-based matchmaking, I'm probably going to pull a 1 KD, and it's not going to be a very interesting gameplay to record. I don't even know why I went back to Cold War, to be honest with you. I guess just because I was bored with every other game, and Cold War is probably my least played game in Call of Duty. So I'm like, oh, I'll play some Cold War just because I'm bored, and it's on my PC. I don't have to hook up the Xbox like I do for the other games. So I decided to play some Cold War, and I was doing really well. I'm like, God damn it, why didn't I record this? But then I was like, wait a minute, doesn't this game have a theater mode? I completely forgot because of how broken and shitty it was at launch that I never bothered trying to use it again until now. And I remember the biggest problem I had with theater mode is that they didn't register hit markers. So you look back at the gameplay, and it just looks terrible when the theater mode doesn't show hit markers. It's just, it's like hardcore mode, I guess. I don't even know how to describe it. It looks terrible. So I was hoping 6-7 months after the game came out, when I was looking back at this gameplay, that by now they would have addressed that problem, and hit markers would finally start showing up in the theater mode. Well, you can tell by the gameplay, they haven't changed a goddamn thing. It's just as awful as it was in November. I don't even think they even tried to fix theater mode during the entire game's life cycle. And what I don't understand is why put a feature into a game that you have no intention of actually supporting. Like, I really don't get it. Like, you release it broken and don't even try to fix it at all. You just leave it the way it is. I'd rather just have no theater mode at all than whatever bullshit's on the screen right now. This looks like absolute shit. Not only are the hit markers not registering, but when you see teammates in the playback, you can't tell if they're teammates, like, on the screen. So if you're watching the gameplay, it looks like enemies are walking right in front of me, and I'm not even trying to shoot them, right? Because you can't tell, like, in theater mode, you have the mini-map, but like, if you're just watching what's going on, like, in the actual game, you can't tell who's an enemy or who's a teammate if you're watching this shit. You would think that 10 years later, theater mode would be better than it was in 2010. But Black Ops 1 actually has a much better theater mode than Cold War, and Cold War came out 10 fucking years later. What the fuck? But seriously, the theater mode in Black Ops 1 didn't have any of these problems in Cold War. The only problem that Black Ops 1's theater mode had was that it didn't register recoil, but at least it registered fucking hit markers, unlike Cold War. And you could also tell who's a teammate and who's an enemy when you're looking back at the footage. And what about zombies? In Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, you can use theater mode to save your zombies games. But guess what? You can't in Cold War. Zombies theater mode still isn't a thing. And it's been 7 months, so if they haven't done it yet, they're probably never going to. So what I'm trying to figure out is that if Treyarch doesn't give a fuck about theater mode anymore, which they clearly don't, why even put it in the game in the first place? I've noticed absolutely nobody uses Cold War's theater mode or even talks about it because of how terrible it is. Or maybe it's just because theater mode has become obsolete over time. You know, back in 2010, 2011, your PS3 and 360 didn't have built-in gameplay recording software, but the newer consoles do. I remember over the years, people have done interviews with Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward about why they don't have theater mode in their games, and their response is pretty simple. They're like, well, you can record gameplay on your console, so there's no point in a theater mode anymore. But people forget that theater mode started off as so much more than just being able to record gameplay. All the tools that you have to edit and put clips together. I remember watching so many fun clips of theater mode in Black Ops 1 back in the day, where people throwing a tomahawk all the way across the map and it's bouncing all over the place, then it finally hits the enemy in the balls. Like, stuff like that. That's what theater mode was always about. Having those fun little clips that you can show off, and you can edit it and, edit the camera angles to make it look really cool. But I notice when I hear people complaining about Cold War, I never hear theater mode get mentioned once. It's just something that people stopped caring about, I guess. So I wouldn't be surprised if we never see theater mode ever again after Cold War, because it just seems like people stopped caring. People don't seem interested in theater mode anymore. And clearly, Treyarch doesn't care either. I will say though, even as someone that has access to a really good capture card, and I'm a YouTuber, I find a lot of use out of theater mode because I don't want to have to record every single time I'm playing. It's just so convenient to have that gameplay already saved for me so I don't have to keep recording every single time I'm playing and waste a bunch of space on my hard drive. So I love theater mode. I've used it in every COD that's had it, including Modern Warfare 3, but in Cold War, it's awful and completely unusable. I'm only using it now so I can complain about it for a YouTube video. But that's all I got for today. Just felt like bitching and moaning about theater mode because it sucks ass in Cold War. And it's probably never gonna get fixed. Just like most of Cold War's problems. Let me know in the comment section what you think about Cold War's theater mode and just theater mode in general. Do you still find it useful in the modern age of gaming? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.